I would like to do a quick interview with you. How do you feel as the face of the city of Houston, and the Houston Texans more specifically, that C.J. Stroud is just out here on a chitty chatter tour, sawing down there other quarterbacks, other teams, talking his shit, dumping on the Colts. You got us week one, by the way. I love C.J. Stroud. I think we all love C.J. Stroud, but there's a lot of people saying C.J. Stroud's doing a lot of talking right now. How do you feel about this, and what are your thoughts on the entire thing?
I don't mind it as long as you back it up. That's how it always goes. Sports are backing it up. I mean, talking on the Colts, he beat the Colts. So we won the division. We beat the Colts for the division.
You guys are doing a lot of chirping. You win one playoff game in 100 years.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's competitors, especially once you start to, I mean, I've been in that situation before, during my career. You put yourself out there a lot. You're welcoming feedback onto yourself.
Yeah.
Then you have to go out there and perform, and sometimes it makes you perform even better.
Yeah.
You're right over there? What's going on?
Your toesies aren't really gold.
No.
I mean, you remember the Wisconsin lake. This is nothing.
This is great.
You're like a super cold, tough guy.
I
Get
love
me in there
this,
every single day.
No, that's my favorite.
Boy, I'm in trouble right now. Bottom half of my legs right now are feeling like that tingly thing, like whenever your leg falls asleep.
Oh, yeah. Sure.
I feel like I'm getting stabbed right now in the goddamn foot.
How were they after the game? Like immediately after the game, are you walking around cramping? Or?
The dogs were good. The feet were good. The legs felt good. I sat down up in the team corral, the players' village.
Yep.
Tough to get back up.
How many minutes did you play?
I'd say 5.
Same here. So I was talking to my wife. She's flying in today. They start up tomorrow. But I was talking to her, and I was like, man, I'm so tired. I'm so sore. And I told myself, well, yeah, you just played a soccer game. And then I told myself, well, no, I played 5 minutes, and I was gassed.
Yeah.
And that's on grass.
Yeah.
On grass.
Imagine on
We warmed up hard. I'm going to say that going into the second game, I will not be warming up nearly as hard as I warmed up for the first game.
I'm going to be doing intermittent here, just because of what was happening there.
Better for the legs.
You were talking shit during the warm-up. You were saying, listen to what this guy says. He comes up to me and goes, our team's doing a Premier League warm-up, so, maybe not the best for me. You know what our team was doing?
Jumping jacks? I don't know.
No, we were chilling because we knew we had another 30 minutes on the field to do a warm-up. There's a lot of warm-up time. There's a lot of warm-up time. I didn't want to lose my stuff. You think the Houston Texans suck this year? You think
No.
You think they're able to back it up after doing what they're doing? C.J. Stroud's doing a lot of talking. Obviously, he has a lot of confidence. D'Amico Ryan's another year as a head coach.
Yeah.
Here we go.
If you tip me over in this barrel, I will lose my shit.
We got Stephon
I'm in a
Diggs.
real vulnerable position right now.
We got Stephon Diggs. We got Mixon down there. We made a lot of moves. Like, are you projecting like this is the greatest year in the history of Houston Texans?
I mean, I think when you look at the roster construction, when you look at D'Amico and what he was able to do last year in his first year, and then you give him another full offseason with this group and the people they've added to it, I think that the expectations are very, very high for this group.
And you're going to
I also know how difficult the NFL is.
Why are you doing all the bullshit like you're going to play, maybe not play?
I mean, I answered one question about it at my charity softball game.
Yeah, but I think...
You said this would be the last year.
Yeah. It's the truth.
So you're definitely playing.
No, I didn't say that. I just said this is the last. I also don't know if that's like I'm
that's
training.
A lie, yeah.
I'm training. Right now I train weights 4 days a week and cardio three days a week.
Are you still doing the exact same football workout?
I'm not doing the exact same, but I've realized it's been very, very hard for me to let it go. So it is very similar. Yes, my workouts are extremely similar. I'm just trying to figure out how to let it go and how to transition into like. I've told you before, I want to walk into a room and know I can beat the shit out of anybody in that room. I don't want to let that go.
How do you feel right now?
With my legs in a barrel, not great. Not great.
You are so big. And the only issue with all the hype and expectation for the Houston Texans is there's one team that's still playing football.
Yeah, the Packers, a lot of people actually, they're saying, hey, Packers, Texans, Super Bowl. But does that worry you? Because going into last year, it was like, hey, the Texans are going to stink this year. It's going to take them a few more years before they actually get ready. And now, like, the expectations going in, it kind of is Super Bowl or bust. I mean, not exactly.
Super Bowl or bust down in Houston. You heard it.
I personally think, knowing D'Amico and knowing him so well, he is the perfect person to handle a situation like that because of how even keel and calm he is. I do think they obviously have a bunch of young guys on that team. They do have a lot of young guys. So, but a guy like D'Amico really does help level that out and keep those guys in check because expectations are a very real thing and they can seep into the locker room.
All right, you did Hard Knocks.
Yep.
Okay, you were a young lad in that one.
Yeah.
We don't have to do the whole song and dance right now. We won't.
We could.
Okay.
This is like 15 degrees cold,
Yeah.
40%.
10 toes down,
40% ice.
22% will. Power of fame game.
Yeah.
You hated your Hard Knocks experience because the Chicago Bears have it this year.
Yes.
Chicago Bears have the Hard Knocks. A lot of rookies, obviously Caleb Williams, a lot of hype. Is that something you think is feasible to win with? Because I believe the Hard Knocks curse is very real.
Very real.
The mid-season Hard Knocks curse is still real.
Yep.
And I would assume the off-season one, because it's the New York Giants, is going to be viewed as one that's potentially a curse as well. You were a part of it. You became a superstar in that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, he was sleeping in the equipment room, didn't want to leave.
So cool.
You became an absolute superstar through that whole thing, but a lot of people just suck afterwards. Do you think that is true or no?
I'll tell you the 100% honest truth about Hard Knocks, in my opinion. I've done it twice. I did the training camp one. I did the in-season one.
Oh, that's right.
The people who run Hard Knocks, the camera people, everybody, they do a fantastic job, and they try as hard as humanly possible to stay out of the way.
Great people.
There is no denying whatsoever that there is a level of distraction that comes with it. Everybody, no matter who you are, when there's a camera and a boom or a camera in the corner of every meeting room all the time, you are going to act a little different no matter what. No matter how hard you try to act normal, and especially when you have a full team in training camp of guys trying to make the team, guys trying to make a name for themselves, people start to act a little different. And you make a bad play and you wonder, oh shit, is that going to be on Hard Knocks? And now on the next rep, you might not try that move, or you might not try to improve yourself because you just want to look good on Hard Knocks, and you don't want to have a bad rep on Hard Knocks.
Yeah, you don't want to get exposed ever, so you're not willing to practice.
So you're not willing to
anything.
try and push yourself to the limits, and I do think that's a small factor in it, is everybody wants to look good, and you're scared of looking bad.
Yeah, and I think at training camp, you're trying to find, like, kinship, too, camaraderie.
Yeah.
You're trying to figure out who's going to be your friend, who's not going to be your friend, how we're going to get along, what's the culture of this team going to be. And if everybody's just being a fake-ass version of himself, it's hard to find.
And then all of a sudden you watch that first episode come out, because it comes out weekly by weekly, which is incredible, by the way, by those people. But you watch that first episode, somebody's a star, and all of a sudden now that guy's got a few more people talking to him at the dinner table the next day, you know? Like all of a sudden they're gravitating towards trying to get some camera time. I mean, I think it's a really cool tool because we learn about...
people are trying to steal some cameras.
Yeah. I mean, like you got the undrafted guy that's a superstar. It's been sitting by himself before the first episode comes out. All of a sudden now he's the fan favorite, and there's a couple more people having lunch with, whoever he may be.
Yeah, we don't want that guy on our team. Go ahead, AJ.
Jay, did you ever find any coaches or front office or anyone else, like non-players, were they acting differently? I would imagine as a coach, you could look at it as, hey, there's a lot of pressure on me. That my message, like if I'm addressing the team, all of this is going to be analyzed by people.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, obviously the coach being mic'd up all the time, his team messages, your team meetings and things like that being, I'll say this for myself. I have one speech out there that I sound like a idiot. Like I hate it. Every time,
20% lock.
like I hate it, and I'm like, that part of me was like, this speech is going to be on the internet, and I hate that. Like I wish I would have just been my normal self. And
Which
not
one
thought
was
about
it?
at all.
Which one was it?
What'd you say?
It was the one where I was like, we're a bunch of good ass dudes, but on the field we have to be like badasses. Like it was just stupid.
Oh, no,
it was
yeah.
just stupid. And
Yeah, when was it? Right before the game?
no, it was like after a practice, and we had a shitty practice, so I was trying to be motivational. And it was every time I'm sent it, I'm like,
I'm so
you're an idiot.
uncomfortable.
Like like you just cringe at yourself.
I am so
The
uncomfortable.
Cardinals
right now.
one was sweet on the sideline. Maybe we're just better.
The Cardinals one I had a much better experience because A, I learned from my first experience. B, it was during the season, and I'm forever grateful for the Cardinals one because that was the last stretch of my career. And I now have my son on film. I now have my last game on film. I have my last meetings on film.
They have the video of you watching the video that everyone made a tribute to. Like that one actually was sweet.
It was incredible. And that's why I say the people of Hard Knocks are so good, is because they're the same people that did my last one. And they made sure they gave me every single piece of footage that I now can show my son someday. And that's really cool.
Hey, quick question. What was the reaction of the boys when you gave the good dudes bad guys?
Not great. I mean, like, especially looking back now, I'm like, wow, that. No wonder they weren't riled up after that one, you shithead.
Did anybody afterwards in the locker room go?
Probably. Not to me, but probably behind like.
No, not to you?
No.
See that?
No, they probably.
That needs to immediately happen afterwards. The echo. There's a bunch of little huddles here. This is hashtag United making their way onto the pitch. Good luck out there, boys.
Good
luck out there, boys.
Good kids, boys.
That's a good kid for hashtag United. Hashtag swagged out.
Tiger stripes.
Where's hashtag United from? I was wondering that earlier.
The internet.
Oh, okay.
Because
AI, just a bunch of AI guys out there.
The pound, but it doesn't feel like how many good soccer players are out here. What's the deal? Why is everybody so good? How are you able to do what you just did too? I
think I broke my toe.
Oh no! Is that on that?
Oh no, we're good.
shot?
We're good. I realized
Didn't
just
even
giving
move.
people a shot there.
Hey, OTAs.
I gotta stay down. I got no choice.
OTAs are currently happening right now. Were you big OTA, give it all you got guy, or?
Yeah.
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 Actual reps.
Yeah, I'm a big believer in you have to play football to be better at football. So I really like not the early portion. I don't love the workout portion because I like doing my own workouts, but the football portion, I do believe it's very important.
What was your percentage you missed? Because you see, Lamar Jackson just missed out on $750,000 because he's not going to be able to make it to 80% attendance for off-season workouts.
Wow.
Now, obviously, that's a big number, $750,000.
That's a lot of money.
He got $160 million guaranteed. So everything's in perspective and in comparison of it all. But did you ever have any of those in yours? I assume you did.
No. I generally, unless I was injured, I was there. Because my brother and I talk about this all the time. I mean, you obviously those are your guys. Like, if the guys are going to be out there practicing, especially the football portion, playing football. I like to be out there, and I like to try and work on my craft and better my craft. So I enjoyed it. Houston was very, very hot during OTA time.
It's
very
hot
humid.
shit here, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Not as bad as I thought.
Not that bad.
No,
it's not as bad. The cloud cover's nice.
It is. Well, they say it might be a big-time rainstorm now, you see.
What do you think on the OTA possibly moving? I'm curious to hear more players' thoughts on it because the public sentiment that I've seen so far differs from my personal thoughts.
Okay, so Darius hates it. AJ, I think, hates it as well.
Yeah.
I think there's been multiple people that have said they hate it. Aaron Rodgers, though, after he went back-to-back during the COVID years, he actually calls himself the COVID king or COVID MVP.
That's right. Yep.
Obviously, that is how he would describe that situation. And there's a lot of other stuff that could go into it. They started that ramp-up period during COVID into the season, and he said it was the best his arm had felt because of there wasn't the whole thing. So I think there's maybe some positions that are like cool with it, but it sounds like a lot of other positions that are out there don't love it, everything about it.
Yeah, my thoughts are I don't like the breakup how it is right now because I believe guys go back home after the season, they start working out with their own trainer, and then they're called back into these workouts that are completely different than whatever they've been doing. Then you play a little bit of football and you take another break. Now, do you keep doing the workouts you've been doing? Do you go back to your trainer back home? Some guys go on vacation, and then you go right into training camp, which right now, if you look at it, I was talking to Mahomes at his charity golf outing. I think he reports on like July 16th or something.
For what?
For training camp.
Do they
in his first game.
July 16th?
That's what I'm saying. I think that was it. If somebody correct me if I'm wrong, and then their first game is like September 8th or 10th.
Yep.
I mean, that is a long time to be playing football with no.
Game or what? Are they
No, that's what's wild to me. I was like, "Are you guys in?" And he's like, "No, I have to go back then." It's crazy to me how long of a warm up, like a ramp up that is. That already is the ramp up. Now you want to add OTAs.
It's got to go even earlier than that.
You would imagine. I know the Hall of Fame game is on August like 1st, I think. Yeah,
1st or 2nd.
So those guys got to be, 4 weeks before that?
Yeah.
5 weeks
July.
before that?
Absolutely.
That is the worst.
Yep.
Yes.
That thing. If we're going to eliminate anything, let's eliminate the Hall of Fame game. Let's put on like a spectacle. Let's do fireworks. Let's do entrances for the Hall of Famers.
Well, just preseason in general, right? Like that.
Oh, no, Roger Goodell's going to call for it. How do you feel about preseason maybe getting run out of town? Now, there are people that are going to bat for the undrafted guys, the 7th-round guys who use preseason games as an opportunity to live their dream, JJ.
Yep.
Just like you were able to do. For how many years?
12.
Damn.
Wow. What a guy. You got booed on draft night.
Sure did. But I agree. That's the biggest argument, hands down, for preseason games is the undrafted guys, the young guys trying to get a shot. But you take it down to 2, you let those guys play. I mean, truthfully, some teams don't even have their starters play at all anymore. Now, do I think you do a fair trade 1-for-1, one preseason game for an 18th game? No.
Roger said that on our show.
I mean,
he was like,
that's nowhere near.
You get rid of one game that is good for $1 billion or $2 billion for us, and then we'll get rid of the $100,000 game. No problem at all.
I mean, there's many thoughts that I have on what you should negotiate with and how you should do it, but we all know that.
Oh, you hate the NFLPA. I got a lot of questions as well with the way they handle business, but that's a conversation for another day.
See, I don't hate the NFLPA at all. I think they're in a very difficult position because of how large the player pool is, because how the average career is 3.5 years. So I was a young guy once too. I didn't care about that new CBA. I was like, just sign it so I can play. We were locked out. I said, just sign it so I can play. Now looking back, I wish I had the knowledge and the experience that I had to be like, no, you need to be a collective group to make changes happen. but it's
like
super
everybody's
hard.
opinion matters.
Is there any way for them to win either? Like
No, the only power
the
the players
NFL.
have is to sit out. It's
Yeah.
a strike.
That's the only power that you have, but you're
Don't
never
do
going
that. We
to.
don't want to put that in the universe.
But you're never going to get that out there because of the average career being 3.5 years.
Matters so much.
Yeah. So, and I get it. I completely understand it. And like when I was near the end of my career and we're on some of those calls and I'm talking to the young guys, they say, you've already done it. You've made your money. You've had your fun. Let us have ours. And I completely understand that sentiment because why should they trust me in that? But the group of us older guys is like, if you could only see into the future and look back now, like if you just took a second now and made that change. But it's tough. It's
Well, those guys don't know.
Why don't you handle the business, JJ, like you're running Burnley? How are we? So what is going on? What is going on with Burnley? What do we got going on?
We're
got a coach?
We're currently in the managerial search right now. We're going through the
You
process.
interviewing Gump?
We're doing interviews.
Gump should be all the time.
I have the short list, and I've not seen Gump's name on it. It could be an oversight.
Who put the list together? You said you've seen it. Of course, you're the owner.
Dude,
I know,
perfect.
Yeah,
Send
Tyler?
it over. Send over all the names. It's like, hey, these
Tyler?
Was it Tyler?
I have. Well, interviews are upcoming.
Are you gonna
There's
be
a
there?
process going through right now. I'll be in the later stages. Yes, I will be in the later
Oh,
stages of it.
smart.
Are they going to have to throw like a basketball through a flaming ring to prove that they can
A couple of the guys are here.
get the job done?
A couple of guys are here. Yeah.
Dude, perfect here?
Yeah. A couple
What?
of guys are here.
Where?
Yes.
Yeah, I
Where?
think Garrett's here.
Tyler?
I don't know. I'll see. I think he's here tonight. Yeah.
Do you have enough people on your team? You just talked about like how, everybody has an opinion and everything like that.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have to have a conversation with Concavo about everybody having an opinion.
See, that's what I told you was going to happen,
You
man.
said that immediately. JJ walks up to our team, sees how many guys there are, and how good everybody is, and he goes, "You guys are gonna have issues. Everybody's gonna want to be on the field." Literally said that. That was the first thing out of your mouth. I'm like, no, Concavo's morale is high. We lose 4-1.
Turns out.
all of a sudden there's potential conversations.
What were they saying?
I didn't overhear any of it, but I did hear a lot of people potentially saying other people's were to blame.
Yeah, I could tell. 'Cause you got so many good guys out there, and there's you have 20 guys on that team, and there's only 20 minutes in the game or in each half. It's hard to split that up,
I
man.
mean, the thought was you can't have too many good players, and it seems as though now
There's only 7 on the
Can't-
field, right?
Yeah.
7? Oh, yeah. 20.
and one's the
Way
keeper,
too
so
much.
it's 6. Yeah.
Way too many.
yeah, way too many. But they're good guys.
So what are you going to do tonight? Have you guys talked about your strategy for this evening?
You'll get into the later stages of the coach's interview for Burnley. I'll be in the later stages of the strategy conversation. They are at the hotel right now trying to figure it out. I have been told. I assume that Tony Mule will have this thing locked.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Eddie Speed better speak up too.
Yeah, Speed seemed to be a little bit more like, hey, you guys, Speed needs the ball.
Yeah, get in the game, Speed.
That's something I'm trying to tell our guys. We got to shoot the ball. Just put the ball on the net.
Dump rubber.
Yeah.
Put
Yeah.
the
Have
ball.
the goalie shoot it. Fire away, man. He can score.
We tried
guy.
that. We tried that today. Our goalie fired one up to me, and I tried to head it in.
That was the goal
Yeah.
that Concava had.
Just put pressure.
the goalie just ripped one.
Goalie scored. Our goalie wasn't really a goalie, though. He's playing goalie in
good.
target time. His name's Steph. He's a dog.
He's a dog.
He is our guy. He's got this mullet and a cannon.
Stand on his
They
head.
play goalie. I mean, he's awesome. We're getting out of here for first hour.